Hello, folks. How is everyone doing today? Sunday. Happy Sunday to everyone. Happy Sunday to each and every one. For the ones who are coming out of church, second service, or the ones who are going in for the third service, happy Sunday to you all. You see, we can't forget about the people that are praying for this world, folks. The people that are putting out positive content in this world, that are trying to make a change. So we can't be mad at that. I certainly not. I am certainly not. Yes, folks, welcome back to another edition of my show. My name is Raymond Nugent, aka Chronic Pain Inner Demon. The Inner Demon. I am waiting for a guest. Health is my passion. Is my guest today. Yes, folks, health is my passion. Is my guest today. So she is my guest today, and I'm waiting for her to come on in, sign in. Let's chit chat and get it jiggy. Folks, I dropped the link there for StreamYard. Anybody want to come up? That's the link for StreamYard. We could always chat it up on a Sunday, get into various topics, whatever is on your mind. That's fine by me. Whatever is on your mind. I tell you, these lights, they put off a lot of energy. So yes, folks, I dropped the StreamYard link in the description box so you guys could follow the show. So yes, folks, welcome back to another edition. My name is Raymond Nugent, aka Chronic Pain Inner Demon, the Inner Demon. Once again, happy Sunday to you guys. I'm waiting for a special guest. I am waiting for a special guest. She will join us shortly. And then we could get into the show. A female have to do their thing, so, give her time. Give her time. She will be here. That's another YouTuber, folks. She's been grinding with this YouTube for quite a while. She's a cousin of mine. And, sometimes when, you hit that road, you want to give up. So we always have each other's back. So, it took a long time for you to work this platform, to build this platform. So, hey, health is my passion. How are you? Can you hear me? Can you hear me? Health is my passion. Type in the comment section if you can hear me, because I can't hear you. Can you hear me now? Health is my passion. Can you hear me? There we go. Health is my passion.
There you go. Hi.
How are you? How are you?
I am doing fine. How are you today?
Glad to have you here. Glad to have you here. It's a pleasure to have you here in my life.
Thank you.
It's been a while. It's been a long time. We've been planning this.
Mm-hmm.
But, everything takes time. and it happens now.
Yep.
So I am grateful to have you here today, and we could touch on different topics and just have it like a free for all Sunday where we could talk about things that happens in our life, in our
Right.
relationships, also in our religion that we follow, believe in, and just try to do the right things
Yep.
according to the doctrine. So I'll let you introduce yourself to the folks out there while I sit back and have a shot of this water.
Well, I want to say thank you, my host, Raymond, for inviting me and having me on your as a panel member here with you today. Um, I go by Health is My Passion. I have a YouTube channel called Health is My Passion. And my channel is basically about health, overall health. I do a lot of weight loss video because I am on a weight loss journey myself. And I share my experiences, how I lose weight without exercise, and also with exercise and the importance of taking care of our health. I do travel and vlogs as well. So, yes.
Very nice, very nice. So I notice you're very versatile on your platform. You show your vacations. You show life. You just pretty much show people in America, which a lot of people already know that. But you're just like one of those who try to pick it up. Go to college, went to college, get married, have your kids, buy your home. You're a homeowner. You're also married. You're also a mom. So you've been grinding for a very long time since you got out of high school. You never look back. You always move forward.
Right.
And I am proud of you for that because you inspired me sometimes when I'm down with my channel, and just a little encouragement sometimes mean a hell of a lot. And you have showed me that, so I want to show my appreciation to you, and also my thanks. So thank you for being there for me when my days are rocky. Health is my
Well,
passion.
thank you. Thank you. I appreciate that. And I appreciate you too because you also encourage me to keep going with my journey on on the YouTube platform. And I know that you have like a lot of special messages that the world, a lot of bright ideas that the world need to hear, and that you share with us. And I really appreciate you. And you look great, by the way.
Oh, thank you so much. You do the
Yeah.
same as well. You look fabulous as well as always. You look fabulous. For a mom. I won't say how many kids you have. But you have a few kids, and you
Hmm.
look fabulous. Been married
Yep.
for a long time. Living a great relationship, and living the American dream with your husband and your kids. But going through your college days, health is my passion. What was your major?
Well, I've been through two colleges. I started when I first left high school and went to college. I studied diagnostic medical sonography. I, however, didn't complete that study, and then I went on to study religion or theology, as most call it, at Liberty University, and I graduated. I got my bachelor's degree in theology slash religion. And basically college was a wonderful time in my life. I know some
Before
people.
you go any further, I just
Yeah.
want the listeners to know. So anyone have your kids going off to college this fall? Where did you go to college? Just they have, in case they have it in mind, to find a school like yours.
Well, I don't really want to give the. Well, I just gave it actually. I just spoke. Well, my alma mater is Liberty University, and
Okay,
um, that's located in Virginia.
right,
And um, I basically studied. I did distant learning, where
right.
I studied. Um, I completed my degree from home.
That's
Is what
very
it is.
nice.
It was a lot harder than when I went to my first college, which was Rochester Institute of Technology in person. That's in New York.
Hmm.
When I went there, I went in person, and comparing it to the online study at Liberty University, it was a lot more stressful studying from home. Basically, even though we had access to a professor during class time and via email outside of class time, the
Hmm.
workload was like tripled. Okay.
Right.
Whereas in comparison to when I went to college in person, I we basically did sections of the book when we study each book text as we studied, but studying distant learning, we studied the books from front to back. So there
Right.
was no skipping the pages nor anything. We had to know
No cheat codes, no nothing.
we had to study everything, and we had to watch a whole load of videos, hours and hours and hours of lecture. We had to have live lectures as well. There's a lot of thesis study going out in the community, doing work in the community. When I graduated Liberty University, I went in person. I flew down for my graduation. My husband and my sister and my child, we all flew down to attend in-person graduation, and it was wonderful. It was
Great.
wonderful. Liberty University is one of the largest Christian colleges in the US, as you may know. You may Yeah, so it was wonderful going in person. My spirit was lifted with praising God because my graduation, they did a lot of dedication songs, worship. It's a Christian college, so they do that no matter what major you studied. The
Right.
focus was God. And yeah.
So with all that said, you're a college graduate with all this degree.
And I'm also a licensed realtor.
So there's a lot you have in that crow's nest of yours as far as um, you know um, career experience. So that is very good. At least you didn't put your egg in one basket. You spread your banner and try to test the waters in different areas, and that's called experience. And for a mom, that's very good because at least you could pass these experience down to your kids, let them know about college, and sometimes when you go to college and you actually have a major, what you major in, it doesn't matter. That's what's going to happen in the field of your career itself.
Right.
So you have to be very optimistic. Yes, you do have to have your majors, but at the same time, when you get in the work field, things might be a little bit different. So let me ask you, health is my passion. When you left college, did you find it different for you when it comes on to your major versus employment?
Quite frankly, I'm thankful to God for the opportunity he gave me to study and to go to college, because it definitely gave me a whole lot of experience and helped me to learn more about myself and God. As far as career wise and my studies, I've not pursued I've not really used my degree to preach and to go into the churches and to preach in that aspect, but I've also used my knowledge and my experience, however, to spread the word of God on YouTube platforms such as this, YouTube, Facebook, and yeah. So I didn't really go directly into the pastoral career field in the traditional sense, you know what I'm saying? But my degree definitely have afforded me the ability to really go and pursue other professional careers. Yeah.
That's amazing, amazing because strong young black woman, who's doing the right thing in America, because for black women in general, I noticed that when I was growing up in the Caribbean, we have a different culture. I was born in Jamaica, spent 17 years in Jamaica, then I migrate to America. Now it's been over 30 something years in America. Yes, I just gave away my age. But in my country, women were so much more respected, you know, versus when I came to America. But you have to understand, in America, in Jamaica, we didn't have the barriers when it come on to racism and segregation. But nevertheless, color is a color, a person is a person. But when I came here, I noticed that the respect for a woman of color wasn't really as high as I had it in the Caribbean, and that's very sad. So, truth to be told, seeing you as a young black woman, up and coming entrepreneur, a mother, a wife, a businesswoman, a homeowner, and you're letting others know that it's possible for you to go get you a 4-year degree in college and become somebody you want in life, because that experience, that exposure that you got in college, is that what really catapults you today to become the person you are, where you could broaden your horizon, think out the box, and form different business in your life. So I think the college experience for you was a great thing. And I remember around I saw a photo of you a long time ago. Were you in the military at any point?
Well, at RIT, I was basically in the Reserve Officers Training Corps.
Thank
Um,
you for your service. Thank you for your
Reserve
service.
Officers Training Corps. It was a training, for it was a college training for those in college. They approached me, and I was, I basically, let me explain it this way. During the freshman year, when you enter college, they usually have like a table set out of different clubs. It can be fraternity, it can be sorority clubs. For you to join, ROTC was one of them that I saw over the sorority. you know um they definitely wanted me to sorority, but I wanted to join RITC because I saw it as an opportunity to really learn more about the army and to maybe build some strength, because I was this tiny little girl. I was really slender. It excited me, and I learned a lot being in ROTC. I learned how to basically pull a rifle apart to completely and then put it back together, almost completely,
Amazing,
and then put it
amazing.
back
I mean, I
together.
can't
Like
do
to
stuff like
clean
that.
it and put it back together. So I
Stop one
learned
minute.
a
Stick a pin
lot.
right there before you go any further.
Yeah,
As a man, I was never into the military, but I can't do that. I could never
yeah.
disassemble a rifle and assemble it back. So my goodness,
Hmm.
keep
But
going.
it was a training. Basically, I didn't complete the training because I didn't know how intense the training was. I completed the first year and a half in ROTC.
Hmm.
Um, the workouts were really tough. The push-ups, the running, the training. You have to have endurance, and basically, you have to be able to wake up early, because when you go up for training, like to Fort Drum, they took us to Fort Drum and all those places, and we had to be able to get up on time on our own.
Right,
And it was fun. It was a lot of fun. I didn't realize how serious it was during the time that I was in it,
right,
but I definitely enjoy all my experiences. I'm very versatile, and I believe in versatility, not only as far as learning or career wise, but
hmm,
where the human race is concerned as well. We all need each other.
right.
We all need each other to survive. As
Absolutely.
those would
Uh,
definitely do.
we're gonna touch on that later on, but I just wanted the listeners out there, especially my listeners, if they didn't get to know who Health is My Passion is, just to know a little bit of your background and your portfolio, so that they know that you're a very serious upcoming entrepreneur. And I just wanted you to give them a little bit of your resume. So pardon me if I intrude in your space, but I didn't really mean that. I just wanted the listeners to understand who they're talking to. Okay. So this lady also gave her service to the United States, regardless of the ROTC or whatever the case may be. You put on a uniform, you made a sacrifice for us. So I thank you for your service. I want you to go on so the younger lads could hear from you and understand from you.
So to clarify, it wasn't really, I didn't reach the service point as it was a training. It was
But
training.
how long were you in the training for? Well, how
We
long were
were
you in the program
training.
for?
I didn't pursue the army. I didn't actually. sign up to be in the army. That was like a entry point where you train to go into the army, but I
Are
didn't
you referring
complete
to
the
boot
training.
camp?
You can call it kind of like a boot camp.
Okay.
It's a training, but it's a training. But those who were more serious about going further into the army,
Hmm.
they went into it. I didn't have any plan on serving in the army
Okay, I
at
see.
all.
I
That
see.
was not my intention.
Okay. Well, you wear that uniform, and I saw a photo of you in your young days, and it looked very cute. So I had to bring that up.
Yeah.
But you're a person that explore when it comes down to career options and test the waters. That's very ambitious of you. Very ambitious. So I hope the young folks out there, young lads out there, could take a page out of your book if they are going through any type of entanglement and don't understand where their future holds and where they want to be in life. It happens, folks, to the best of us. But before I go no further, guys, I wanted to let you guys know when you come in the room, don't be afraid to give me a super chat or a cash app. Cash app is $ Raymond Nugent, and also the super chat. All those things are available, and also becoming a member of the channel where we have different perks, and also, folks, I have my online store, which the name The Wounded Lion. So if you check out my online store and patronize me, I would appreciate you in advance. Yes, indeed, I will. The Wounded Lion. There are gears there for women and also men because I have to cater to both genders. So yes, folks, there's a lot of nice things there: jerseys, all these type of stuff, hoodies, T-shirts, and whatnot for female and male. So patronize me, folks. And I thank you in advance. And yes, folks, once again, my guest today, health is my passion. So my health is my passion. So since you've been on YouTube, I've seen you evolve, even further in your editing, your experience, your presentations, and
Mhm.
just everything in general. I saw your growth. So can you give me some ideas of how you came about as far as raising your growth and your worth on YouTube, because you did some fabulous stuff on YouTube that I started to follow, even with your cooking, the island cooking as Jamaican, oxtail, roast beef. So let people know who you really are as far as a person that have different type of qualities and also passions.
So when I started out on YouTube, I started out with my weight loss. I wanted to show people that, hey, I'm on a weight loss journey. Join me, encourage me as I encourage you. We can lose weight without exercising.
Hmm.
So I didn't know much about editing back then.
Right.
But as time went by, I basically researched, studied, and started practicing. And with time, my editing got better, and it still continues to grow and improve. So it's a matter of spending the time investing in yourself by studying, investing the time, study, learning, and then putting what you have learned into action and practicing it. So I love music. In my videos I have a lot of music. I think that definitely music definitely can soothe the mind, and it's kind of medicinal in a way.
Yep. It's
you
a
know
therapy. It's
yes.
a therapy.
So, and it can also be negative in some ways, but
Depends on the lyrics and what you listen to.
it depends on what you listen to, and
Exactly.
it depends on who you're dedicating the type of depends on the type of music and your purpose for listening to it.
Right, right.
And
So what's in
sometimes,
your catalog today? I'm just going to be a little bit nosy. What's in
mhm,
your music catalog today? I
what's
just
in
want
my
to let the
catalog?
folks know.
I
You're a
wanted
YouTube celebrity, so I want them to know what's in your catalog, what you're listening to. You know.
So one of my favorite song is Ever. I just came upon that music in Soundstripe, and I do have it in one of my video, the beautiful Niagara Falls. If you search that video, you'll see it. That song is a love song. It's
Yeah,
inspirational, encouraging, and it just expresses me. It
I'm
expresses
listening.
my
Go ahead. I'm
feelings.
listening.
It expresses my feelings, and with Niagara Falls, it's a soothing. The falls itself, the vision is soothing, and the music is soothing. And I play a mix of music. I play any type of music as long as it's not too vulgar.
Relaxing,
Not to say I never used to listen to all kind of music, but now I'm more careful what I listen to.
which is understanding, and that comes with growth. Okay,
Right,
that comes with growth. So that's understanding. Music, I tell you, I do understand where you're coming from when you put
hmm
music in the mix.
right,
Because for me, I was injured in 2006. It's many moons ago. Almost 20 years. A guy that went through, spinal fusions. All type of
hmm
laminectomy, discectomy. You
hmm
know, um, nerve studies, nerve conductors, studies on nerve blocks and epidurals. Series of all those things. But I fought the fight, and I'm here today, and I built this platform that's called Chronic Pain Being a Demon,
hmm
because I still live with chronic pain, but because of my optimism, I'm very optimistic.
right,
I just kept it going, and I see where um, I question doctors, because some people are afraid to ask doctors questions, but don't be afraid, folks, because doctors are human beings. I'm not trying to stray away, because today's Sunday, so we're going to talk
hmm
about any and everything that comes to mind.
right,
Topic. There's no topic. But I'm not straying away from what you know. Health is my passion, and I were talking about. I'm just trying to let you guys know. Also, if you're new to the channel, why and the reason why I start this channel. So yes, so I was a guinea pig. A lot of surgeries where they even had to open my stomach and took out part of my intestine just to build a wall from the front so it could support my spine. So yes, folks, I have a rebuilt spine for the past 19 years now. Which come with a series of surgeries and also a lifetime of spinal and also nerves pain, because my nerves are shot from the roof. So I was told at that age when I got injured that the nerves, it would never regenerate. And I started doing a lot of research. But before the accident happened to me, I remember Christopher Reeve, Superman. If anybody remembers Superman, he was in an accident where he fell off a horse, and he was paralyzed from the waist down. And he went to Congress and he lobbied for the stem cell research. He lobbied, he lobbied, he
from the
lobbied,
waist down.
and this was in the George Bush era, and it got shut down. And then in the Obama administration, when they came in, they picked it up, and they started to continue the research because they know it works. And when I said regeneration of nerves, guys, because you could regenerate nerves from embryo, um, from the placenta, the embryo. You could regenerate nerves. So that's been proven for years. So when I was told that my nerves would never go back from the surgeons, I was like, you know what, never say never. So that's when I started doing my research and realized that it's possible. But Washington, the government didn't sign off on it, the CDC. So when the Obama administration came in and they were doing the research, and I guess they ran out of funds, it become privatized to different companies. So now you have different companies lobbying to be a part of what's been privatized, because when it's privatized, then there's no cap on how astronomical the fees could be for a person like yourself. Health is my passion. Myself and other regular citizens going to get acute care from these people. So that's how they broke it down, and that's why now you find where yes, stem cells does really work for people like myself, but to get the type of treatment, I have to go into places now that quadruple, you know, the price. Because I really want to talk about this, and this is one of the reasons why I bring it up, because the insurance rate, medical insurance rate in America is insane. Number one, they're deducting money out of your salary. Number two, when you go to the doctor, you have to pay a co-payment. Number three, after you pay your co-payment and your insurance pay, you still have to pay these doctors because they send you a notice in the mail that you're holding money. So how could I hold you money when you're getting paid from all these different entities? That doesn't make any sense. You know, that's like you're extorting me as a regular citizen. And yes, folks, that's insurance extortion. I want to bring forth that to you guys because I spoke to Health is My Passion behind the scene, and she touched on that passionately to me, and I don't want to forget the subject that we're talking about, which is insurance extortion. So I'm trying to bring that up right now before I forget it because I didn't have it in my notes, and I don't want to forget because it's very important. Just like how I did a live yesterday, I spoke about the illegal and the unjust and the wrongful deportation of a rapper named Cash that was living in England and went there as a 10-year-old and find himself by himself back in the Caribbean as a 20-year-old. So there's a lot of nonsense going around all around us, and we need to speak more on it and about it. So health is my passion. I am going to ask you to stay with me, take this journey with me, so we could continue and speaking on other people's behalf that really don't have a platform or people that don't have a voice. So that's one of the reasons why I'm so hard and adamant on you to keep up the good work what you're doing. Because let me tell you something, here's my passion. You never know what life you might change around this world because YouTube outlet is around the world. Because sometimes people don't have the news outlet where they are, but they have YouTube on their phone. Everybody have a cell phone, So right now, YouTube is the biggest media in the world, and it will still be the biggest media in the world because apart from Google, then it's YouTube, and we all know that. Because they have other branches under their umbrellas, which we can't get into that right now because it don't make any sense. But yes, you encourage me with this platform, and I also, do the same for you, vice versa. So I want us to keep this going, and I want you just to be as aggressive as you can as a woman and let people know, it's okay. Let the younger folks or the young black men know it's okay to stand up for a black woman. It's okay to stand up and say, you know what, I love my black woman. I appreciate my black woman. It's okay for you to say, you know what, I want to live the American dream. I want to have a family. I want to have a home. I want to have a career. I want to have a life. So I'm going to turn it back over to you now.
Yes, yes. As far as appreciating women of color, um, as you mentioned early in Jamaica, it was different. For me, it was absolutely different. Coming to America, I was actually shocked at a lot of things that I saw because it was new to me. A certain culture, lifestyles, a whole lot of things were different. But as
Right,
far as appreciating women of color, I've seen it where it's been some women are treated very poorly. I
right,
can't speak for others because I haven't like really experienced it on a personal level, but I
right,
know that people can be disrespectful, and I
right.
believe it's very important that the men of color uphold their women, respect
Absolutely.
themselves, love themselves, and respect the women of color.
Hmm.
Because whether you're mixed or not, or you are a woman of color, and I speak to my Caucasian um, friends and watching right now as well. The women of color are women of extinction. Extinction. We are very strong, many of us, and we are very outspoken, confident, and the women of color are very beautiful.
Absolutely.
When coming to the United States, I see where people, because today I decided I'm not going to straighten my hair before I come on with a straightening iron. So I
Hmm.
decide that I am going to wear my hair naturally with its curl patterns, as it is, because I am big on, loving myself as God created me to be,
Right.
and I think we need to see more of that. More
The more
people,
organic way of living.
yes, without changing ourselves so much because the world is moving in that direction where people have been changing themselves so much. And I think I I I I don't know if the psychology of the way women were treated in slavery, and where they were might have been made to feel like they were less than because of their their wave hair pattern, or the complexion of their skin. But I don't
Hmm.
know why it is, but I see mostly the Caucasians who are changing themselves a lot. They want to look better, and they don't work, they change, they don't appreciate themselves. But now I see a lot of women of color changing
Hmm.
themselves up, getting larger breasts, bigger booties,
Yep.
wearing all kind of hair. And I'm not against getting nice
Enhancements.
fake hair,
Enhancements.
which
Let's say it like that.
fake hair, which is not yours. I don't call it enhancement, because I believe that we're perfectly enhanced as God created us. But
True. True.
some people wear stuff and the bearded discomfort, because I personally have worn wigs before. I've cut my hair very short,
Right.
and I've worn a wig, and it's very uncomfortable. It's very uncomfortable if you wear it a long time. And
And that's the thing, like how you feel about people, wearing wigs. Because some
uh,
people don't want no one to know that what they have on their head is a wig, which
right,
obviously it's a weave. So why aren't black women so confident to say yes, this is a weave or it's
yeah,
a wig or whatever? Why they take it like as an insult or like it's derogatory? How dare you say that to me? Why is it so incognito when you try to ask a black woman, "Hey, is that your real hair?" or "Hey, is that a weave?" or they take it very, very, very serious. And then before I go any further, before you say anything, nobody wear weave in this country more than Caucasians. A lot of people of color don't even know that. Nobody in this country wear more weave and extension than Caucasians.
right.
Go ahead, my friend.
So we need to start loving ourselves, because we have such beautiful features. Our hair is so thick and full of body. A lot of people, like you said, that buy weave to make the hair thick and full, like ours are. But I feel like we have lost the sense of what being natural is. And as time moved by, I see introduced in the media a lot of things where people are gonna have this fantasy, and it begins all with this: not loving ourselves where we are and for who we are.
So true.
To the point where we have this metaverse built, where people are being taught that, well, you can be anything you want in the
You
metaverse. You
have
can live a lifestyle,
assimilation.
any lifestyle, and get away from
Mm,
reality if you want. And
yeah,
I feel like it's all pushing towards something that could be very, very dangerous,
it is
because
dangerous.
people are buying into this, that, well, you can, and it all stems with the Bible, because the Bible tells us a lot of stuff that will
Well,
happen too.
let me tell you,
I see it playing out now.
right now, what we see, I'm just going to piggyback on what you're saying. They call it artificial intelligence.
Right.
That's what really running the world right now. And because Facebook is also a software slash tech company, they're also under that umbrella. And then you have a company that's called Nvidia. Nvidia,
Hmm.
okay, that's another giant. They're the ones that really deal with the omniverse, but Facebook deals with the metaverse. But at the same time, a lot of companies that Roku and all these IBMs and everybody are going to have to join and get on board under that the principle of the metaverse, because the metaverse is actually an avatar of yourself in the outer space. I call it hyperspace. World beyond worlds. That's what hyperspace means. World beyond worlds. So in the metaverse, you're like untouchable. So people are going to be starting committing crimes in the metaverse. I'm just saying, things to come in the future. And just like how they have 3D guns and out there, you could print it and you could use it, and it's operable and you could kill somebody. All these things are designed, to it's just absolutely. People are looking at evolution, but these things are wrecking us, tremendously, mentally and physically. So now let's go back. Let's go to the omniverse now. So the omniverse now, they use the omniverse as a design center. It's like online design center. So within the omniverse, you could design, let's say, a bridge going over a lake or going over the ocean, and you figure out how to design by using the omniverse. Because in the omniverse, you could add and subscribe. Okay, you're just like a what do you call it? Just like your husband, an engineer. But you're an engineer just by pushing the pad and paper behind the computer and designing. It's just like people that does web designing, because just designing infrastructures around the world, and that's it's going to become a big business because instead of the architects that are drawing the hard copy and showing it to these business people, now you can just go on a computer and go into to the Omniverse and design your building and also your infrastructures the way you want it to. So it's basically just software at its best, but at the same time, it could be your worst friend. So I always tell people, be careful of what you're dealing with, or be careful what you're signing for, because these two things right here, they could also be self destruction if you don't understand how to use them. So that's my take on the omniverse and also on the metaverse. I just hope someone understand and make a difference, from that as far as an opinion and how you operate these type of software.
Yeah, virtual reality have been in the making for some time when they introduced the virtual reality, I think in early 1990s. It could have been even before then. But I remember when they came out with the little thing that you wear on your face, the virtual reality
Yeah, that little camera. Yeah, yeah.
goggles, and now they have a
What do you
metaverse
call it
where
again? Is a GoPro? Is that what you're talking about?
no, not a go. It's a goggle, just like what they use for the metaverse right now. But it
Oh, okay.
wasn't. It wasn't to the point. The technology wasn't as advanced as it is today, because
Right.
you could still be connected to reality back then when you had the goggles on. But
Hmm.
now, when you put that thing on, it's like your mind and everything is experience what you see in the metaverse. If someone push you, you actually physically in the real world start falling. If it's a push that makes it like you're gonna fall, okay, make it like, for instance, you're at the edge of a building in the metaverse with the goggles on, and somebody in reality pushes you gently and you're at the edge, and
Yeah.
you see yourself falling in the metaverse off the building. I've
Hmm.
seen people actually fall flat on the ground in
Oh, absolutely.
reality,
Because
because their mind and everything is so connected. It feels
yep,
so real,
yeah,
as if
it's an
it's actually
avatar of
happening.
yourself. It's just like a replica, but they use it in that fashion in order to get it in the
Yeah,
outer
but your
world,
body reacts in
outer
such
space.
a
They call
way
it.
where it's like
Yeah,
real.
you pretty much
You know?
where they're trying to go with all of this is to and I'm going to give you the correct word. It's hyperspace, hyperspace, HYPER,
Mhm,
hyperspace.
mhm,
And when you talk about hyperspace, hyperspace is world beyond this world. Galaxies beyond these galaxies that nothing have ever been as far as mankind and any one of these planets that we know about. All these planets, nothing ever touched hyperspace.
mhm,
So when you get lost in hyperspace, it's you're lost in the web of social media, the metaverse, the omniverse. So that's where they want to get you in that cloud to get you lost in that space.
mhm.
So let me ask you something as a mother. So do you allow your kids to get on these sites as far as just to go on these sites to explore and see what they can learn as far as the new innovators are coming up?
As far as my children, I'm not gonna really talk about them,
Okay.
because even though I do try to keep it private, as protecting my kid, his privacy. I don't really talk about certain things that I do with them or don't.
Well,
Even
it's
though
well, the reason why I just want to stop you there. The reason
I would
why
say this. I would say this. I believe that you really should, if you allow your children to be on social media,
Yeah,
you need to keep close monitor on them. Okay, you
absolutely,
need to monitor
absolutely,
them closely, because
absolutely.
there are there are people out there who they
Are
do bring
praying,
children,
are
prey
praying
on
in social
children.
media. We could
Yes,
use those language. They
so
are
you have
praying in social media.
you have to be careful, especially if your kids is under the age of 16.
Mm-hmm.
They're developing still, they don't understand, they're very creative.
Mm-hmm.
But and I've seen children on social media, and I've looked on their account, and I see a lot of adults on there, and you're like, why the heck are there so many grown people on this kid stuff? I've seen kids on social media, and grown men are like,
Talking them.
the number of views they get are so high, and there's a lot of
What?
grown people reaching out to them, men, young females, men reaching out to them, young kids,
What?
so you have to be careful. You have to guard your children, because the devil is so sneaky. He tries to get anyone, adults, children, he tried to get you
Mm-hmm.
alone so that he can destroy you. So when we're monitoring our kids, and they're so young, and they're developing, and they don't have the understanding that we have, having lived life to
Mm-hmm.
become an adult, they don't have the understanding. You have to monitor them, teach them, and guide them, because
Absolutely.
the devil does prey on anyone and everyone that
But
they can, and
but
they're very vulnerable. The younger
but
generation, the
that
kids.
remember that was our upbringing as a youth in the Caribbean. Make sure you pay attention to your kids. You
Yeah,
remember?
you got to teach
Yeah.
them from early too.
Yeah,
You got to
so
teach
we
them
had
from
that upbringing as Caribbean kids. When you live in the Caribbean as a small child, you came here as a youngster. You know, you went to college here. I came here as a youngster myself. This is my adapted home, so we had to adapt. You know, not the principles that, to say, but it's just the way of life, and try to make a change when we can. It's like saying going to Rome, do what the Romans do. We don't have to do absolutely what the Romans do. You have to be yourself, calculate all your moves, make sure the moves you're making is the right move in your benefit and your family benefits. And I think that will help us to catapult over any type of humps and challenges that we face in these countries. Yes, we are going to face adversities. We are going to face adversities. We're going to face where they sway narratives with us, where they swear, where they sway narratives and stuff like that. But that's just part of the black. I'm not going to say culture because we shouldn't deal with that. We shouldn't have to say the word culture, but that's what happened in our culture. Let me just say that because we get preyed upon by different culture. We get demonized. But at the same time, we are the ones that are entertaining you in your living room on a Saturday or a Sunday or a Friday, 7 days a week, because predominantly 80% or 90% of all athletes in America are Afro American, or they are predominantly black. And when I look at the hypocrisy of what's going on in this country, it rattles me, because if I'm going to sit in my living room today, Sunday, and say, for example, health is my passion, is my best player, hooray, hooray, health is my passion. Don't forget, is a person of color. So tomorrow morning when I go back to work, then I get back into that hate mood where I don't like, people of color, because you're around your peers at work, your friends at work, people who indulge in the same foolishness, because what I notice, people in this country, and if, I'm going to say one certain things. If you notice, the word follow becomes the biggest word in the world. A lot of people don't pay attention to the word follow. The word follow becomes the biggest word in the world, which blindside a lot of people. And I'm going to explain it. Every site you're going right now, that's what you see. Follow me, follow me, follow me. Apart from YouTube that asks for subscription, everywhere you go, it's follow. So right now, there's no lead, let me lead, let me lead. Everything is now follow. Instagram, Twitter, follow all these outlets. So, with all that said, I think we need more upstanding leaders, upstanding citizens that could talk to these kids, so they could have some type of roots and also understanding, and also a voice. Because everything now that are plastered across the television, um, some of the stuff is just so appalling to me. Sometimes, I just get into certain rage, which I had to calm myself down because I said to myself, don't let the media get you out of your comfort zone. I always, as a youth, learn how to dissect the media and try to get around and learn what's right from wrong because pretty much the media is also a big part of the mind control in our system today around the world. So I was prone to that at a young age. But at the same time, when I came to America and see how it was just like a big part of the American culture, it's called capitalism, and it's just the norm in America. So when you see this word follow me, that becomes a norm on Twitter and also on Instagram, in this or the past, decade, this word was designed for a reason because it's easy for you and I to adapt this word, even if we don't speak English. Just follow me there, folks. I mean, I'm sorry. Just listen to me, folks. I shouldn't use the word follow. Pardon me. Which is not a bad word, but I'm discussing the word follow. I'm discussing that word right now, so I don't want to use it in my sentences. So my apologies. So yes, so this word now becomes the biggest word in the world, where we have our young kids, maybe at a certain age, maybe 8, 9 years old, are following, and we don't know who they're following on their phone or their computer because this word is a word that sounds and it comes in with so much finesse. That's why this word is a word that they use because it's a word of finesse, and also it's a word where it's not going above the law or beneath the law. It's just a nonchalant word that is very catching, and everybody's going to gravitate to it. So I want you to take a second now, folks, and see how this was orchestrated. All this following was orchestrated because you know what? It's something that we're going to gravitate to. It's a word that we're going to gravitate to. So anytime you see certain things online that intrigues you, of course you're going to press follow, because you want them to follow you back as well if you have a platform. So the word follow me is a very word. Is a very how should I say it now? It's a very unique word that it could mean good and it could also mean evil because there's a lot of young ladies in this world that follow people on some of these sites, Instagram, Facebook, via YouTube, Twitter, and all these other entities and outlets out there, and they wind up losing their lives. And a lot of people don't talk about that, the people that are losing their lives, that are following some of these people on these sites, that are predators that prey on people that just have the misunderstanding of this word and also the outer part of the world and how it operates. So that's why you have young kids in their living room right now going through windows, getting kidnapped by people out there that you say to yourself, how did this really happen? It's because of the social media network and what they have at their fingertips. So the word following, my folks, I click on it myself as well to follow different subscribers. I'm not going to be a hypocrite, but also that word could be a very dangerous word. And today's Sunday. When you leave this podcast, or this where I have health is my passion, has my special guest. I just want you guys to think about this word as you go along your journey today or maybe tomorrow. This word follow. We all understand the meaning, but just think about this word and see how it's been used around us, and it becomes a dominant word in our society. Health is my passion. Do you have anything to say about this topic? Well, obviously, health is my passion took a break, which is well needed. So I'm just going to continue and speaking on what I'm speaking on. So yes, folks. So that's a very tedious word that I see around us that has been used million times on a daily basis. It could be good or bad, but follow me is the trending word for how many years now. People has been clicking on following myself as well, but I always make sure I'm careful of the ones that I follow, the social media peoples that I follow, I did a little bit of research on them and make sure that they are who they say they are before I continuously follow them, leaving comments and stuff like that. Because it's a different world, though, folks. It's a social media world where everything is at people's fingertips. Folks, when they come into the chat room, please, don't be afraid. Hit me a cash app, or super chat. All those things are appreciated to help the machine grow and become stronger. Not like the metaverse or the omniverse, but naturally authentic content and also naturally authentic host. So don't be afraid to hit the super chat, my friends, or don't be afraid to hit the cash app. You know what I mean? I appreciate either one. Or give me a thumbs up, even that. Or share the video. You know, just become a part of this journey, and that is good enough for me. If you can't afford super chats or cash apps and stuff like that, it doesn't matter to me. It's okay. So yes, folks. So what we see going on around us, I call it smoke screen because I call it smoke, 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 smoke. Because don't forget, folks, we are coming out of COVID. We were just winding down, getting all the analytics from all these reporters, journalists, TV stations. So they got us to where we were getting into a comfort zone as far as taking off your mask, and various states are lifting the mask mandate. But then here comes another distraction: the war in the Ukraine, Putin's war. What's next? Obviously, we have gas price going crazy. No need for me to cover that because everybody cover that. The food price is going a-wire in the food stores. All those things are just treacherous when it comes on to survival. So all these things that collectively that are going on around us, it's a very scary time to live. It's a hard time to survive. A very scary time to live and a very hard time to survive. It's not just gas that's going up, your rent, your electrical bill, percentage on your mortgage, food shopping, car maintenance, the kids' fee to the schools, work around your house just to buy parts, just to fix up around your house. All these things right now are so astronomical without a cap. And you say, and you're waiting for your government, like, when are you going to cap some of these things, especially gas price and how it's just like raging from, what I mean, out of hand. Because when I look in California and I see gas is over $6 a gallon, 6 plus, 650s if you pushing it, I say to myself, no way. And this is the reason why I say to myself, no way, folks. I just want you to listen to me clearly. America have so many gallons and gallons and barrels of gas for years, probably about 50 years, sitting there in reserve. For what? Those barrels of gas are in reserve for time like now. So we won't feel the pinch of the sanctions. That's, we were let down on Russia. So quite frankly, we are feeling a more heavier pinch collectively than Mr. Vladimir Putin when it comes down to sanctions in America. Because at the pump we pay so much money for gas, So when you add it up, we are paying so much more money. Hey, health is not passion. Come on back in. We are paying so much more money for gas, and then you gas up your car. Now you have to. Your phone is I think a mute. You gas up your car. Now you have to go to the food store. Depends on how big your family is. That's another couple $100. Forget about clothing. Forget about your mortgage or forget about your rent. You haven't paid that yet. The government gave you a few checks for $1,600 for $1,400. Now you have to pay tax on that. But at the same time, billions of dollars are going to Ukraine to fight war. So you say to yourself, if your government can give away money for war, why can't they give away money for survival? It doesn't
Exactly.
make any
There's a
sense.
sense in that.
It doesn't make any goddamn sense. So health is my passion. Take it from here. I'm going to take a break and get some from the bar. So I'll let you speak until I get back.
Yeah, definitely agree. There's been, as far as where gas is concerned, there's been a lot of price gouging that's been going on. Gas prices are like sky high right now. They are where I'm at is over 460 per gallon right now, and a lot of a lot of times the war in Ukraine is getting blamed, but we have our own oil reserves that can be opened up and relieve the pressure as far as cost for gas. And also, I love your shirt. Look at this shirt. Yeah,
Chronic pain and edema. I got my
the
material. I got
lion.
my all my stuff. There
Yeah.
we go. All my stuff.
Yeah, so guys,
Yeah,
make
go ahead,
sure
my
you
host.
support. Make sure you support Raymond. Make sure that you subscribe, like, share the video, and hit the notification bell so that you'll be notified whenever he releases, these his content, which are very helpful.
And I just breaking news, folks. I haven't told this person yet, but breaking news. I'll be doing a lot more collaboration with Health is My Passion. So look out for more collaboration like this on my channel, sometimes on her channel, where we talk about what's going on around us in this world today, what's bugging us, what's annoying us, and what's costing us. Go ahead, my friend.
Yeah. So as I tell you, the world as we see it today is so much different than it was back in the day when I was a child growing up. It is actually frightening. I've heard seniors in their 80s say, 80s and some in their 90s say they haven't ever seen anything like that. They have lived through the Depression, they have lived through so many turmoils, and they're like they've never seen anything like this that's going on in our world today. The war, the famines, the natural disaster, all the violence. So we gotta wonder, why is this happening? There's a war happening in Ukraine and in other parts, other countries as well. That hasn't been as televised as the war in Ukraine is.
Hmm.
Um,
I want you to stick a pin for a second because just hold your thought. I have one thing to say before I forget. Health is my passion. Just said something that I don't want to forget. Around this world, it's not just the Ukraine, folks. Because let me tell you, right now in Greece, the Africans are suffering tremendously, tremendously. So she's right.
I'm still here. I'm listening to you. So
Yeah. So
pardon me.
in Greece, there's a lot of Africans that migrate to Greece years ago, many moons ago. And now Greece are sending them back, to Africa, but they're sending them back in caskets because a lot of genocide is going on in Greece that is not being getting covered. So you're so right. You're so right, and that's why I said I just want to use to stick a pin in what you're saying, and I could piggyback off.
Thank
Wow.
you. Thank you for pointing that out, also, because it's funny. When certain thing is happening in some countries, especially where people are considered minority in the U.S. It's not considered as important. It's not as televised
Mm-hmm.
as certain things that happen in a country where the majority of the people happen to be Caucasian.
Mm-hmm.
And I
Mm-hmm.
think that is really, it's a shame, to put
Yep.
it that way.
Yep.
Because we couldn't make it without a lot of these other countries.
So true.
We couldn't make it without their people coming here and working,
Mm-hmm.
building the country, and establishing it. But
Mm-hmm.
I've heard people say, "Oh, these are so and so people dying, blue eyes, blonde hair," and I'm not against anyone, but these are stuff that have been said by some people on broadcasting networks.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, it's such a shame. It's not like it's a third world country. I'm like, how can you demean people's lives?
True.
Other people's life just because they aren't blue eye blonde hair. And we need to talk about this because some people, they're like, oh, hush, 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 don't talk about this
Mm-hmm.
on, it's controversial. But when the more, when we talk about stuff, the more we learn, and the better the country is able to heal and recover.
Yep.
And as you always say, host, each one teach one. Now, if we just keep what's happening in our knowledge, especially the knowledge of the older adults from the younger generation,
Mm-hmm.
it's it's a it's it's just like a way to destroy them, because they're
Right.
growing mentally by learning from the elder generation. Now, I see a lot of departure from people respecting the elder generation and stuff like that. But we need to learn. Like I said, I learned a lot from the elder generation when they said they never seen anything like this.
Right.
Because some people believe that we're going back to life as it used to be.
Well, they call this generation Generation X.
Yes,
Good.
Generation X. Maybe we're gonna exort everything, but we definitely aren't gonna be this extinct at all.
Yeah.
You
Let me
know.
ask you something as a woman. How do you feel about the decrease of procreation in what they're trying to bring forward to the world as their formula? Because I've seen it in their formula, and I know that's what they're bringing forth around the world because the world is overpopulated, number one, and we don't have enough food to feed people on this earth. That's why you see clowning and all those things are going around. I think a lot of us are understanding that now. But as a woman, how do you feel about you know um, the government just dictating that you could only have two kids, and stuff like that?
Yeah, I know that in some countries, such as in China, there was a point where they only said, dictated you only have two kids. Married people, families should only have two children. But now they have been begging husband and wives, couples, they have been begging them to multiply because they see where they're almost at verge of extinction because the population has gotten older,
Okay.
and they need to procreate to create more
I need you on
children.
camera though because I need people to see who I'm talking to. So if you don't mind,
I Yeah, I was eating. So, I'm
well,
gonna
you can
turn
continue
the
eating. That's
camera
fine.
off again. Now I'm gonna turn it off when I'm eating, but I'm listening and I talk now and then. But also procreation, I definitely don't agree that there's not enough food in the world. I believe there's more than enough food to go around for every living person on the face of the earth.
Do you know
Another
about
thing
the
I
farming
do know,
situation and how
another
people
thing
are
I
not
do
farming anymore?
know Another thing I do know is that the government has been buying up a lot of farmland in
True.
this country. I've
True.
heard, many people have come out and talk about it. Farmers have been talking about it, and they have been destroying the crops to actually contribute to famine. Why
Mm-mm-mm.
they're buying up all these land and destroying the crop, I don't know. I don't have an answer for
Mm-mm-mm.
that, but it's an answer that will be coming soon because as we live and
Exactly.
we learn, the truth is coming out.
There
The
is an agenda.
multiverse. There's an agenda for human extinction, of course. That's always the plan of the devil. He wants to
Yeah,
prove to God that he can win and he can use his own creation
and
to
his power.
destroy itself, and
Yeah,
then God would definitely need him after.
right, right,
But
right.
people don't see that. They don't know because they're not studying, not reading, and a lot of the truth have been hidden from people in the church.
Well, you studied theology, so at least you could teach some of these people that are misconstrued. You know.
Yeah, so like I always say, get your hand on the Bible, the for the Bible, the lost books of the Bible by Joseph Lumpkin. You can find it
When
on
you say the last
Amazon.
book of the Bible, are you referring to Revelation, or there's
The
more books?
lost books of the Bible. That's a
Which
book with
is
scriptures that have been taken out of the Bible
okay.
and they have
I
not
want
been
to I want to stop you there for
included
a
in the
second because I
Bible.
want us to follow you. Which book do you consider the last book of the Bible? Because I want to make notations so I could go and do my own research.
It is called the Lost Book of the Bible. If you look it up on YouTube, you
Okay.
should find it. But the
Okay.
specific book that has all the books, such as the book of Enos, the first book of Adam, first and second book of Adam and Eve, War Scrolls, and everything,
Hmm.
that book you can find on Amazon. And I'm looking for it so I can share it with
Yeah,
you
I
guys.
just wrote it down. I made a notation, because I'm going to look it up. So
Yeah,
whenever it's
so
one thing, when I'm doing my shows, I have my books out, so I make notations. Because if I
mhm,
don't remember something, at least I could go back to my notes and
right.
I find it. So
Mhm.
yeah, I'm just by myself running a one man's team. Doing everything by myself. So pardon me if I lose focus and just you're speaking. I'm trying to take notes as well.
Mhm. So I've always wondered, pastors when they're preaching, some pastors when they're preaching, they talk about stuff and they're so confident. They talk about it confidently. And I'm like, how is it that they know all this? They're so smart, they're so intelligent. And sometimes we think that, oh, God really revealed every single thing to them. Of course, God does reveal things to us, everyone,
Yeah, but certain people on
at
this
some
earth,
point.
what I get to realize, certain people on this earth are more gifted, even when it comes on to faith,
Mhm.
understanding, and how to go about serving, and above. And then you have others that are deceptors, which we had those in the Bible as well. So, do you want to touch on that? Because when people come to the conclusion of what religion they want to be and what churches they want to go to, sometimes it could be a very hard decision. So, if a person that studied theology, can you break it down for us?
Basically, I believe that everyone is all gifted and given different gifts. We're all given different gifts by God. Okay, whether you believe Him or not, God is not a God of one, and He's not a biased God. He does give light, His sunshine upon the good and the wicked. The Bible tells us. So we all have gifts, but the thing is, as far as our beliefs and what we do in terms of serving God, basically what I know and what I've learned is that you won't come to God unless God first calls you. And
Right,
there have been people who have come to God not wholeheartedly because they see a gain. So now, because people use Christianity to gain. We see it in the
right.
politics. We see it all around our world,
It's all
okay?
around us.
And in all aspects of life.
Yeah,
But you can fool man, but you can't fool God. It's
absolutely.
another
Indeed.
scripture that comes from the Bible.
Yes,
So
indeed.
now, so now we're living in a time where things are so chaotic, and people are going so much further away from God. It's already been written in the Bible that it would come to this point where people are moving far away from God. And it's
Hmm.
going to be a point where there are less and less people who believe in God because, as the Bible says, many are called, but few
The
chosen.
chosen are few.
Yes.
Yep. A chosen are few, folks. Many are called, but a chosen are few.
Right. Few are chosen.
Go ahead, my sister.
Yeah. So that's it. Many are called, but few chosen.
Yeah. So that's why. Okay, so I'm gonna let you go back to what you're doing. I'll take it from here. So if you want to go back to have a snack, go ahead and have a snack. I'll take it from here. So she studied theology, so she could give you a better breakdown than I can when it comes on to religion and the history because of her studies. So yes, folks, I tell you, there's two things that disrupt this world and have this world in a turmoil, and I'm sure a lot of you guys know what two things these are. Comment down below, folks. Give me a thumbs up. Let me know what these two things are from your perspective, because I'm going to give it to you from my perspective. But I want you to comment down below, give me a thumbs up, and share the video, like the video, and also recommend the channel to a lot of your friends and folks around your life and also in your family. So the way things were breaking down to us, folks, um, it was all by design. Things happen by design around the world. And who are designing these way of living, the way society should believe, how you should think as far as being optimistic, how you should school your family as far as what's right from wrong, how you should discipline your kids if they misbehave. The world has taken all of that from us. And I remember growing up as a youngster, teenage years, going through my 20s, whenever I had a girlfriend or whatever, and I go to the hotel, every hotel you go to, they have a Bible in the drawer. So you can read your Bible before you go to bed if you are, a Christian or a believer. Every school you go to, every desk, they had a Bible. So kids could try to build a foundation as far as religion is concerned. Not that when you grow up, that's going to be your belief, but at least you understand the foundation of Christ, of life, and the beginning of heaven on earth. At least you will have the concept of it. So in certain reasonings, you understand and you know how to relate to these questions. But because a lot of things right now are so under reciprocal and also the force under rights, I am this, I am that, and I am God knows what. They took the Bibles out of the hotels, took the Bibles out of school. So now the kids can't even say prayers in line. Like I remember kids used to say prayers in school. They made sure they cut that out. I'm just trying to count the line, folks, and show you how the mind control and also the state of the obvious operates around us on a daily basis. And sometimes we are so blindsided by it because of different media coverage. We are so blindsided by what they're really doing and, the narrative that they're spreading and the results that they're getting. So, yes, folks. So, coming up, I always paying attention to how these groups of people orchestrate and how it becomes a noise in America. Because I guess I tell you what, if it was a group of color that was orchestrating and trying to become a dinosaur in this country, they would have been either shot down, dead, or being in prison right now serving life sentences. That's a fact. So some of these people, most of them anyway, people of different race, people with different hatreds, different beliefs, and that's okay, because if you believe in this over here, I do understand you, but don't bring it across over on me and force it on me, or bring it into the schools, force it on the young children that yet to grasp their understanding, their belief, and also the religion that they want to follow. So to me, this is bullyism, shoving these things down the kids' throat in schools, as far as how to become an atheist and don't believe in God and don't believe in creation. That's going to leave these kids very curious, my friends. Very curious. So, can you imagine what it's going to do to them mentally when they found out that they were brainwashed by people that they believe in? And that's why you see mental stress in America, around this world, is always going to be here, is because of the swayed narratives that they paint just to accommodate the revolvers. And what I call the evolvers, I should say. It's the youngsters that evolved in the 2000, Y2K, and up on. I call them the revolvers, because they came in and they made some noise. They let it be known that we're here, because I'm just going to tell you one thing. Obama used them in his first election, the young folks in the media, because they let themselves known that we're not going to tolerate certain things no more. What your folks are lobbying for in Washington, we're going to go above and beyond these folks and make sure that our generation get what they deserve, the treatments, the understanding, the respect, and also let a child be a child, grow as a child, and a foundation is built with that child. And it's up to that child, when that child is developing into manhood, what religion they choose, as far as what they believe within themselves, not by force, folks, because choosing a religion by force doesn't really work out well. You have to give a person a choice to let them choose what they want to believe. The Bible is not easy to read, folks, but when you read the Bible, you have to also learn to read the Bible with an open mind, and also have to learn how to dissect certain things in the Bible.
Absolutely agree with you. You're so absolutely right. No, when we read the Bible, we need to gain a sense of understanding. Ask God for understanding. Ask Him to open up our understanding. What is the scripture speaking about? You know, um, Open up my understanding, Lord. Help me to see what the message you're trying to send to me, because certain scriptures can, as people may say, there's allegory in the Bible at time. God, Jesus spoke in parables.
Mm-hmm.
So you gotta pray to God, open up your understanding, that you understand the message that He's sending to you,
Mm-hmm.
to us. So yeah, yeah, absolutely right.
But do you want to touch further and the understanding of the Bible? Because sometimes people
Mhm.
read the Bible and they are misunderstood by words,
Mhm.
quotation, and just get caught up in the rapture. So, do you want to touch on that, as far as when people reading the Bible, explain to them as far as what's
So
showing?
basically, people might say that, oh, they don't understand parts of the Bible. It doesn't make any sense. I think that there is misunderstanding when we read the Bible, yes, whether it's King James version or the New English version or anything like that, the NIV, anything like that. We so much have been taken out of the Bibles, I believe, because in the last um chapter in Revelation it talks that
Can I ask
reward
you a question before you go further? Because you're a person that deal with this. Was
rewards will
the
be taken.
Yeah, but one
Reward,
question before you go further. I mean, sorry to interrupt you.
mm.
I apologize. Was the book of Enoch taken out of the Bible?
Well, I believe that I'm not gonna say was the book of Enoch was taken out, because when we speak facts, we need to be actually be there for something to be factual, because that's where a lot of confusion lies in terms of people leaving the faith of
Mm-hmm.
Christianity today.
Mm-hmm.
So if I wasn't there personally to see it happen, I'm not going to speak as if it's a fact unless God
But you could
comes and
fact check.
show me.
You
You
could
know what I'm
fact check
saying?
and get your
So
information
so a
correct.
lot of people nowadays they go to Egypt and they travel the world and they come and say, "Oh, the Bible is fake because when they go to Jerusalem or whatever, it says that this is possibly where Jesus laid," and they say, "Oh, that means that he never laid in the tomb, he never died, and he never rose, and all of that." Possibly means that that person who wrote that
Yeah,
instruction
yeah.
said possibly because they themselves weren't there physically to
So they don't
witness
know.
themselves. So they want to say possibly because they want, it's up to us now whether we believe it or not, or you choose to believe it or not. It doesn't mean that it never
Because what
happened.
they do is pretty much give you another smoke screen for you to go do your research and figure out what that possibly means. Because
Yeah, it's up to
they
you
can't
whether you're going to believe it or not. Okay? It's up to you whether you choose to believe the word of God or not. Because, like
yeah.
I was saying earlier, when they the in Revelation it said people will take away, rewards will be taken away from those who take out of the scripture, and
Hmm.
reward will be given, plagues will be added to those who add to the scripture. So I
Okay.
definitely believe where the confusion come from in the Bible is because stuff possibly have been added to a Bible, and
Right,
things
right, right.
obviously have been taken from the Bible because they're continuation in like the book that I told you to find, to get
I
your
got it
hands
written
on,
down.
the last book of the Bible by
Yeah,
Joseph
the last book of
Walker.
the Bible. I got it
This
written down here.
fills in, it fills in a lot of things that have been missing from our Bible.
So the
So
last book of the Bible is a book you recommend for me to read so I can get more understanding. Is
the
that what you're
last,
saying?
I recommend that you guys get your hand on it and read it. But before you do it, while reading it, you can read it while reading it. Also have the Bible so that you can fill in the
Differentiate.
gaps of
Yeah.
anything. The last book of
Yeah.
the Bible goes in detail about a lot of stuff that is missing, and then you're able to piece together, make a connection with that which is said in the Bible and understand it more. It goes in
But
detail in
fam,
a lot about a lot
can
of
I tell you
our
something
forefathers,
that
the
I
patriarchs.
learned?
Mm-hmm.
I read the Quran because I have the Quran here in English, and I read the Bible, and they're so similar. It's just the wordings that cause confusions. Why is that?
I haven't read the Quran myself, and I don't know.
Okay, I'll
Um,
show it to you. I have the Quran.
I haven't read the Quran, and I can't explain why the Quran causes confusion with the Bible because it isn't
Yeah.
something that I've studied.
Okay, this is the Quran in English. I have the Quran in
Mm,
English. This is it.
mm, mm.
This is the Quran, the
Yep,
English version. I have the
right.
Quran back and forth. I show you. I read the Quran. So my
Mm,
knowledge is not just today or overnight. I read
mm,
the Quran,
mm,
and also I read the Bible as well because this is the best book
mm,
that's ever
mm,
been written.
mm, mm,
I read the
mm,
Bible to get understanding. And sometimes when I'm down and I'm confused, I go to this book, even though I read it before, Barack
mm,
Obama, The Audacity of Hope. You
mm.
know, this book I read it like 3 times, The Audacity of Hope. So yeah, I'm a reader, my friend. And I
That's
never told none of
absolutely
you
good.
guys. I never told none of you guys this, but that's why I like to do research because it's become a passion for me to do research and learn new things on a daily basis. Because if you could change your life with the research that you learn, at least, man, I think it's worth it for you and your journey and destiny on this earth. That means you have done something of purpose. You know, a lot of this, what's going on around this world, people are doing things without purpose. You have to do things with purpose. For example, if you said to me, Raymond, I can't pay my mortgage this month, and I'm a guy that have X amount of dollars. I said, okay, don't worry about it. I got you. I'm not loaning you nothing. I'm giving this to you so you could balance yourself out. And I'm giving you even extra. So what you do things with purpose. You don't dwell on these things that you do, but you do them with purpose. And a lot of those things are missing today because it's become a dog eat dog world in the music industry, the film industry, in general life, in the media, in everything. So now you have a lot of kids out there that are not balanced. And also, I want to talk to you about what's going to happen to us in the next 5 to 10 years when it comes on to um, depression because of COVID. A lot of people were locked in. A lot of people were working with their spouse in the house and things like that, and things happen, and people get into all these type of entanglements. Kids who sacrifice, going to the classroom, seeing their friends work from home. That's uncomfortable for them as well because they're people. You need to recognize them. So, to me, for the next 10 years, in my opinion, we're going to have a heavy psychological issue in this country. What do you say about that?
The next 10 years from now, I can't really speak.
No, from no, I'm talking about from now on. I mean, from now on. So it's going to take at least 10 years for people to grasp back their sanity. Because don't forget, when they had
Quite,
September 11,
quite
myself,
frankly, yeah.
I was out
But
of myself. You know what I
right,
mean? So it's going to
quite
take a while for
frankly,
you to grasp and
quite
understand.
frankly, what I think, I can't speak on the next 10 years from now because I don't know
No, no, no.
what's
I'm
going to
saying
happen.
I'm not talking about next 10 years. I said it's going to take up to 10 years for people to detox from
Right.
all of this
Well,
nonsense.
as I'm saying, quite frankly, I don't know what the next 10 years is going to bring because basically our times are very
Yeah,
different. I
but that's
understand we
not
are 9
what I'm trying to
11.
say to you. We're not talking about what they're going to bring the next 10 years. I
Mhm.
am saying to you, it's going to take at least the next 10 years for us to detox all this what we've been through with COVID-19, the war, and everything. All these things are new. So what I'm saying to you, it's not like I'm asking you a question. I'm saying to you, it's going to take us at least the next 10 years to detox mentally and physically so we could get back onto a regular normal, you know?
Right, right. So it takes some time to recover, but as I was saying again, um, I don't know what the future holds, and I don't even know if I don't mean to be negative or um, pessimistic to say, but quite frankly, the way the world is going today, we don't know what's going to happen. We don't
Right,
even
right,
know if we're going to even, from a biblical standpoint as well, I don't even know if we're going to go into the next 10 years. It's
right,
hope.
right.
It's hope that we will be able to recoup, and it's hope that we will recover and that things will normalize. But quite frankly, looking at a biblical standpoint and looking at the past, scripture always notates a lot of things, and what's happening right now is similar to that as written in the book of Daniel,
Yep.
which
So
tell of
true.
the war with Russia. Russia plays a major part in the return, in the return of our Lord and Savior. And Daniel explained that dream which he had with the statue, the bronze statue, and everything. So, and people have been talking a lot. We have been learning a lot about Russia. We've been studying a lot of biblical study have been done about it, and about the Babylonians. People consider our country to be like Babylon, as some people
Yeah.
would call it.
Yeah.
But the reason why I said I don't know what's going to happen in his future, because I don't know. We don't know if Jesus is going to return today, tomorrow, or before. But
Right.
we can hope, definitely hope, that we make the right choice in turning things around and
True.
changing the way we live life and the things we do. But
True.
from a biblical standpoint, I don't know if we ever going to be able to detox and recoup, because as the Bible said that it would be more tolerable for Sodom and Gomorrah than for us. And I believe that we're definitely seeing that time come to pass right now.
Can you repeat that? What the Bible says?
The Bible says that it will be more tolerable for Sodom and Gomorrah than it is for us. And as we see, we have reached so much deterioration that people are turning to virtual reality
I
because
want people to hear that.
I
That's why I
believe
want you
they
to
think
repeat it.
that they're going to escape the judgment. So
Yep.
people are giving this, the devil has people believe in these fake and false lies that
Yep.
even if they die, they will live in the matrix, which is
Yep.
known as what I see the metaverse today. They,
Yep.
if they die, their consciousness can be uploaded, like we upload a drive and all of that. And
Yeah.
it's such a deceit. And it all begins with people not
But
appreciating
you're right. That's the right word. There's a lot of deception in the religions. A lot of deception, and you have to be
not
careful.
so much religion, because religion helps, particular
Yeah,
Christianity
but
to bridge the
I'm
gap
not. I'm
with
not
the
saying like the Christian
deception.
religion. I'm just talking about religion itself, because you, for example, you have people that worship a carpet. They have a different belief. You have people that worship a cow. They'll give you a different
That is
perspective.
idolism.
No, but I'm just telling you about what people worship around this world. Yes, I
Yeah,
know it's idolism, but
yeah,
they still
there's
worship it.
idolism,
You know?
and yeah,
Yeah, but they still worship it, and they think that's their God.
right,
What I'm trying to say is that I could look at you and say you are my God. It's just the way I look at you, and the perceptions that I gather from you. I could
right,
say, hey, you are my God, because to me, I am a God on this earth as a man.
right.
You know, men are gods on this earth. The creatures are God on this earth. Women as well. You're God's, creation on this earth.
Yeah,
But to
we're
me,
small gods. That's
yeah.
right. Yes,
But to me,
we're small gods.
when I look at this life itself, and also people, um, the last 2 decades of people, I think they were brainwashed terribly just to bring forth this narrative and all what you're seeing in front of us now. So what I'm trying to say is that they, out of preparation, they orchestrate and they delivered, because they are very patient, because they know this world, people are gullible, and that's why they use that to people's advantage. Just like how the British, in 1776, when they gave America their solidarity, and that's how America came with the 4th of July, where they celebrate, because the British allow them to have holidays, which are pagan holidays. You want to take it from here? So yes, folks. So like I was saying, 1776. Health is my passion. She's a little busy right now, but she's my special guest, and she's been here kicking some jewels with you guys. Each one teach one, and I think she's doing a great job. So folks, you know, I'm glad she's here. Hey, James, how are you? Hey, my friend, how are you? Nice to have you here. I come to you live. I see you around the internet. You're a great person. If people want to build their channel and stuff like that, you check out James Jippy, Gipe. James is a person that you could go on his channel, build your channel, and becomes a bigger and better YouTuber. Because James has been a YouTuber for quite a while. Going from channel to represent people, spread his love. Now he's doing his platform is where you can go and get subs and also build your channel and become a better and a more successful YouTuber. So that's James, guys. So go to his channel and patronize him and check out what he have to offer. Okay. So let's get back to the show, folks. So yes. So what I'm saying is that in this world there is a lot of chronic pain. Some of it are self-inflicted by people, by the you know your own kind, and yes, some of it is also unjust. I do understand the difference between the two, but at the same time, you have to understand who make the laws of this world. The people that make the laws of this world, guys, they just want to see it goes on in their fashion and make sure that they're making their money and things are going their way. The moment things get out of wire, folks, that's when these people started to make different type of transition to confuse already the people that they have in the palm of their hands when it comes on to their mind and the control that they have of their mind. So now they can market anything to you. Because once they control your mind, this even goes in advertising. Once they control your mind, they can market anything to you. It's like me marketing a product. Now we go to the press conference. I unveil the product. I speak about the product. Maybe I overwhelmed you and captivate your mind. So then you'll get ready to spend your money on this product because I captivate your mind. I want folks to
Right,
understand
right,
it.
right. Well, host, thank you for having me. I'm gonna head out. It was great being here with you. I appreciate you having me on your
Yeah, we've been
channel.
going on now for an hour and 42 minutes. I appreciate you stopping by. But I think I'm going to go for the next, 16 minutes because I want people to hear what I have to say.
Yeah,
I think
I
I'll bring
def
it up for 2 hours. So I
I'll
appreciate
definitely
you
be
here.
tuning in.
Yeah, I appreciate you here. And I thank you for your visit. I see you again. Much love to you and your family.
You too.
All right. Bye bye. So, yes, folks, I'm telling you. So, when we go around and try to survive in these type of, ways where things are, you know, um, out there and we could gravitate to it so easy, when you look at the cultures and see what was dispersed in certain cultures, neighborhood, and see how they went down with the hammer as far as dispersing dangerous substance in certain neighborhoods. And then once those certain substances dispense in those neighborhoods, people get addicted to them. Then they tell a friend to tell a friend, this is the best substance in the neighborhood. And you just move on and just don't stop until it populates the country, the nation, and then it becomes an astronomical problem. And then that's when your government try to chip in and say certain things because you know why? It's costing them a lot of money in the healthcare system. So that's when they start talking up because their friends start calling them and saying, "Hey, Joe." For example, Joe is the president. I'm paying, an arm and a leg for my employees right now when it comes on to the medical system. What can you do about it to help me out? So, of course, Joe, because I am a big campaign donor that donate to his campaign, of course, he's going to look me out as far as giving me a break. So he's going to cut corners in everywhere he see that can be done and fit and that he could get away with. That's where he's going to go. And what are the weakest prey to Joe? The people of color. Because people of color, we don't follow up on things. We don't press charges like we're supposed to. We don't do our research and we don't understand our rights. And that's why sometimes our rights getting taken away from us because of lack of understanding. And this understanding is the key, folks. One of the key points of life is understanding. Understanding your life, what you're going through, understanding your family, your friends, because it helps you to make better decisions, which could spare your life, your friend's life, and also its enemy's life. I am a man sitting here of certain age talking to you folks, and I want to tell you something. I spoke about this once on my chat, and I never spoke about it again. You guys can go back and check my videos. I have a son. His name is Rashawn Dwayne Nugent, right? A young man that I gave an extraordinary life, give him everything that I had to offer him as a young child, made sure I spent time with him. It might not be 100% like I wanted to spend time, but I did the best I could as far as spending time with this young man. He's my son. He comes to my house in the summertime, take him shopping, take him to the barber, spend time with him. He was a guy that loved to play video games, just like other young folks. So sometimes he's in the basement playing video games. This is when I was living in New Jersey. I met his mother in New York because I was living in New York, right? His mother got pregnant with him. And bear in mind, I had somebody at home when she told me she got pregnant. But she didn't tell me until a few months later, so it was too late to even think of, certain other options, which I am not one of those persons to think of certain other options. So anyway, months passed and she found out it was a boy. Bear in mind, my first child is a girl. I love her dearly. That's daddy's girl. She came out just like her dad, same attitude. Yeah. My son came out the same goddamn way, looked just like me. So I'm like, okay, I love Samantha dearly because she was here first, and then I love Rashawn dearly. So I'm like, okay, I can't choose between none of these son of bitches because I love both of them the same. Yeah. So I love both of them the same. In the summertime, Rashawn come to the house. I could see sometimes his misbehaviors by his mannerism. I checked him on that, talked to him about it. Sometimes he have his pants down low, and I make sure he pull his pants up with when he's walking with me, because I don't look at that. I don't want to see your boxers. I don't want to see your underwear. Pull your goddamn pants up. Show some respect for yourself and people around you. So yes. So he never liked when I checked him on that. You get a little annoyed, but hey, so be it. I'm a father. And I like to see respectful things, respectful people, distinguished people, and people that operates in the proper manner. There's nothing wrong with that. It keeps the police off of you, because a lot of times people of color say, "Hey, the police always troll me, or the police always antagonize me," but it sometimes could be your appearance, your actions, your crowd, your associations. Same thing. So police pre you from different angles, not just one angle. They have time to sit there and watch you because their clock is going. They're still getting paid. Just like the FBI that could sit there and watch you for 6, 7 years because they're still getting their pay on the every week. They're going home to their family. That's their job. While you and I are out there risking our lives trying to sell certain type of illegal substance. But they're there just waiting for us to make certain mistakes so they could build a case against us and put you in the penitentiary for a very long time. So, folks, my son Rashawn, I always take him to see my friends in New York because that's where he was from, Spring Valley, New York. My friend Frankie and all of them, Killer. They all got deported now to Jamaica. So all these guys are deported. And one day I'm going to put my documentary together so I could let you guys have a better understanding of the people that I'm talking about. So anyway, I took my son to see Frankie, and he was there enjoying because Frankie have a son the close age as my son. So I always take my son to see Frankie and his son, and we hang out together, go to the mall, getting bags of clothes, taking him to the barber shop, making sure he's good to go for at least 2 3 months, money in his pocket, whatever the case may be. So it's good for at least 3 months. So that's how I was doing it with my son. Plus, they were getting his mother was getting the support money, from the state. So there was no complaints, and she never put me in child support because I was always a good father to my kids, and still is a good father. So, long story short, my son relocated to North Carolina, Wilmington, North Carolina, to be exact. I think he relocated at the age of 9 to North Carolina. His mother, she worked for, at the time, the company was called 9X, 9X in Orangeburg, New Jersey. So if any old timers remember these type of names, these type of companies, you understand what I'm talking about. When I was with my son's mother, she was with 9X. And it wasn't really a relationship like that, straight relationship. We just, hanging out together and doing dumb shit. You know what I mean? So yes, folks. So that was my touch of deception, where I made some dubious mistakes, but I don't regret my son, not for one bit. But anyway, have this young man with this lady. Like I said, she was at 9X. They gave her an offer. They relocated her to North Carolina. Have a nice house, big lot, in the back of the house, like about an acre or so. She have a swimming pool, half a basketball court, all these other amenities for my son and his brothers to relax. So, folks, I didn't tell you this, but bear in mind, my son had two more brothers, which were older than him. Older. He didn't look up to the oldest brother. He looked up to the brother that he followed. We kept a great communication as he's growing, also the visits. So then I started to see some changes in my son when he became 14 years old, stuff like that. He misbehaved when I had to beat his ass, and he said some reckless shit. So I had to call his mother to get to the bottom of it because she didn't really tell me much as far as his misbehaviors. So I found out the hard way. And yes, I did beat his ass. I fucked his ass up for misbehaving and talking the way he talked to me. I beat his ass. And after I finished beating his ass, I said, get the fuck out of my house because you don't show no respect to your father. Yeah, get the fuck out of my house right now. I throw all this shit out the house because if that's the way you want to treat your father with no respect, a man that always provides for you, if you can't show me no respect and you show your boys on the street no respect, then guess what? Take your ass to the fucking street. Yes, that's what I did. Then my mom sat there frantically, just, just like, trembling because she never seen me in this kind of rage. So then I went down to the basement just to sit down and cool down. Bear in mind, I threw my son out the house with a fucking bag and everything, with his clothes and everything, because I was just pissed off. I knew he wasn't going to go nowhere, but hey, I just wanted to give him some tough fucking love because he's misbehaving. He's not listening. So, of course, if you're not listening or you're not behaving, I have to give you tough love because I have a sister that I'm raising as well that's doing what she's supposed to do. And if your sister see that I'm not trying to scold you when you're misbehaving, she's going to think she could do the same things and get away with it because she's going to be like, okay, Rashawn did it, daddy. I didn't say nothing to Rashawn, so I can't say nothing to Samantha then because I let Rashawn get away with it. So that's why I couldn't allow my kids to get away with things because they will use it against you. Kids are very smart. They know how to use things against you. So anyway, I saw some transitions in my son as time goes by. Then, like I said, when I beat his ass and he say some reckless shit, I call his mother because at the time he had just came to my house the day before from North Carolina. He came up to spend the summer, right? I was downstairs unpacking his suitcase because I gave him the basement for himself because my daughter she have a room upstairs. Even though my son had a room upstairs for himself, I gave him the basement so he could play his games. He have the stereo, he have his couch, he had the bed, he could just lounge. I just gave him that fucking space for himself, so nobody would bother him, and he won't bother nobody. You have to understand he's an outside child, so I'm trying to make him feel at home and as comfortable as I could make him feel, you know, and also make him feel like he's belong around his sister and also me. So anyway, gave him the basement. He sat up all night playing computer video games. Don't go to sleep until like what 3, 4 in the morning, 5 in the morning. He don't get up until like 1 o'clock in the afternoon, 2 o'clock in the afternoon. So obviously, he don't really help me around the yard. That motherfucker sleep. I wake him up, yeah, dad, then he go right back to fucking sleep. You know, hey, that's my kid. So what the fuck am I gonna do? So anyway, when I saw the changes in my son and the way he was misbehaving, obviously I had to talk to his mother more verbally. So I had a very verbal conversation with his mother, very heated conversation because I saw where it was making some transitions and I didn't like those changes. So I spoke to her and I said, yo, I asked you when he was born, let me raise him. I'll take the responsibility of raising my son. And he said, no, you keep him. I financed that part of it. You keep him. But at the same time, he was trying to follow a brother of his that he idolized, which is probably about 2, 3 years older than him. His oldest brother always have it down packed. I think he's a police officer now, his oldest brother. But the middle one was a pain in the ass, and that's the one that my son followed. That's the one that my son idolized and do the shit that he does. So anyway, one night, I guess my son's brother, Chris, the one he followed, went out to a nightclub. And for some reason, I don't know, he was shot 8 times. 8 times he was shot, folks. 8 times. And he was in the hospital when they're going through the surgeries and all that stuff to save his life. Then I get me a phone call from my son speaking to me frantically, telling me that his brother is about to die and they got him and it ain't gonna be that way, whatever the case may be. So anyway, I'm trying to calm him down, like Rashawn, they got who? What's going on? So eventually he calmed down. He told me Chris was shot 8 times and it was by some guy that they had some type of argument with. He wasn't telling me that he was in a gang, my son, because both my son and Chris, they're gang members. I'm not going to hide and I'm not going to sugarcoat. Gang members, So anyway, when I realized he was a gang member, I realized it before all these things happened. So that's why I asked his mother, can I keep him so I could raise him for the rest of his teenage years until he got into his adult stage, so I could change his mind and his perspective and how he's looking at the world and also things and also life. So I asked her for that, and she didn't allow me to raise him for the later part of his teenage years. She kind of shut me down nicely. She wasn't rude about it, but I was a little mad because I remember once I went to her and I was very perturbed, and then she came back to me and said, not again, because I'm not going to let you get your son. So I was like, okay, fine. She's not going to let me raise him. Because this girl, in her mind, she's saying to herself, if I can't have you, at least I have your son. And I'm like, what the hell is this shit? So anyway, she wouldn't allow me to raise my son for the later part of his teenage years. She continued to raise him, collect the benefits for him as well. The benefits was a good amount because of my disability. So he was getting about $450 a month from my disability, plus extra money, and plus I was also buying him clothes and food when I go up there. Plus he come, every other week, also the summer. I was always spending regardless of what I'm paying. A father's always going to be a father, folks, because sometimes you say to yourself, man, F it, because this extra $50, I would have been out there fucking it up anyway, buying a drink or spend it on some dumb motherfucker who just asked me for shit. So I'd rather spend it on my kids. So that's what I did. My daughter, she went through college. Now she's a school teacher, and she have a career. She have a daughter, my granddaughter Gabriella. Love her dearly. But my first grandchild came from my son, which my son is younger than my daughter. And then one day, before he got into certain trouble, he called me and he said to me, Dad, I have a birthday present for you, which he called me in August because my birthday is in August. And I'm like, what is that? He said to me, Dad, my girlfriend is pregnant. I'm like, really? He said, yeah. And then he said to me that the due date is in August, which is around your birthday. I was like, wow, cool. So then he was like, yeah, that's a gift, man. That's a gift, Dad. Young little son of a bitch talking shit. I'm like, you should have been like in trade school doing certain things, further in your career. You calling me, blushing, telling me you have a baby in the way, turning me into a fucking grandfather. So yes. So my son turned me into a grandfather. He was the first one to turn me into a grandfather. My granddaughter Aria, Aria, I love her so much, so dearly. She lives in North Carolina. Spoiled little girl. Love her dearly. Absolutely. So that's my first granddaughter. And then Gabriella, 4, going on 20, is my second granddaughter. As you guys can see in videos where I react with Gabriella in my early videos where we hang out. As a grandfather, I was able to just sit back and watch, Gabriella, and I also have better communication with Aria because I'm home and I try to utilize my time to the best of my ability. So yes, folks. So that was a life-changing experience for me, being a grandfather and just having my grandkids around me, my granddaughter. But then my son. Let's get back to my son. So my son was a boxer because he's a lefty, left hand. So he was a southpaw. You know, um, he did a couple of fights, Fakeville, North Carolina, and some other places. But then in his high school, he always get in trouble. So at one point, he got in trouble with some guy, and he punched the guy from the outside windshield. Like the windshield was up, and he punched right through the fucking car windshield and damaged the guy's jaw. So then, of course, that case went up in front of a judge, and because of Rashawn portfolio, the judge assured him that, hey, your hand is a weapon because you've been training months, years as a boxer. This is your defense and this is what you use. So your hand is a weapon. I consider your hand as a weapon, just like a knife or a gun. I didn't hear those things in my life. That's for the first time I'm hearing those things. So anyway, his probation was like 4,500 and stuff like that. So I paid some money and we started paying his probation just to get it down or whatever. And I'm sitting there. So after I meet with his probation officer, I'm heading back to my hotel. But before I get to all of that, when I met up with my son, he was smelling, of alcohol. So I said, you know what? I need to talk to this young man because he don't barely talk. And I need to understand this young man and his goals, his aspiration, his life, and what he want to do in the future. So when he came to see me, of course, got on his Jabot jeans, his Timberlands, his this, his that, whatever. Always looking fly. That's one thing I got to say. Learn from his father about the swag. Yeah, that's why he got the girls mad. So anyway, he came by me at my hotel, and of course, right away, I smelled the alcohol on his breath. So me, I just came off a flight, a little jet-lagged, frustrated that I have to deal with this shit. So I said to him, where's the nearest liquor store? He said, just go downstairs from the hotel and, a few feet up, less than 400 feet, there's a liquor store. So I went up in there. It's water, by the way. It's not liquor. It's water. So I went up in there and they order a bottle of Cavassier. Took it back to my hotel. Of course, you guys know the hotels have cups that they provided for you. Bought the Cavassier, bought some cranberry and stuff like that, some peanuts and all that type of stuff. Throw it down on the counter, pour myself a drink. And then I looked at my son and I said, I'm not going to pour you shit. You pour your own shit if you want to. Because I already smelled the alcohol in his breath. So I know I didn't have to ask no question if you drink or not because I already smelled it. So I know, obviously. But I'm not going to get into that and fight you with that today and create a big argument where I don't get to spend quality time with you. So he poured his drink and we're sitting there talking. And I said to him, I said, you got to change your life, your belief, the way you look at things, the way you look at life, and also the way you look at your career path. I said to him, I said, listen, by speaking to the probation officer, she was assuring me with receipts that you were a gang member. I went back to my son. I reiterate everything the lady said to my son, and he assured me that no, Dad, it's a misunderstanding. It couldn't be me. Even though I was on his back, on his ass constantly, it's not me. But listen to this shit now, right? So before that, the lady said to us, because we were sitting in the room because I had to pay the money, so we're sitting right there with the probation officer and my son and I. She said, Rashawn, the other night I was just out on details, just driving around, and I saw you with a gun in your hand. I said, what? She said, yeah, I saw you with a gun in your hand. And that lady, she liked my son. My son is a very handsome young man. So, I see people give him breaks in life and try to help him because he's, a very good looking guy, very handsome guy. So he swore up and down to the lady it wasn't him. He swore up and down to me that Daddy wasn't me. I was home. So she said to me, Rashawn, I know you with your dreads. I know what you look like. And I saw you brandishing a handgun on certain blocks, at certain time. And as a person that got in trouble on probation, you shouldn't be in the possession of a handgun. So anyway, she said, I'm going to let it ride this time, but the next time I'm going to lock you up. That's what she told him. And he was like, okay, no problem. These son of a bitches don't ever care. Because the way they answered, just like, I'm like, Jesus, I am sitting over here shivering, trembling because you're about to go to fucking jail. And you talking like you don't give a shit. So anyway, got out of that on probation. He got a job, working his job, got this girl pregnant, working his job, coming home, sleeping, taking care of the baby when his girl go to work. So folks, let me get you back to certain things. So don't forget his brother was shot 8 times in a club, right? The year before. Don't forget these guys are bangers, I don't know really how the ops work in their corners, but I'm just going to tell you from what I understand and what I know, and from the facts of my own son. So I wouldn't lie to my son, or I wouldn't lie to nobody else. So anyway, my son, I think, seeing his brother laying there, been shot 8 times, laying there in Wilmington, North Carolina, Chris Wickfall. That's his name. You can Google it and look it up. Chris Wickfall. That's his name. You can look it up. In Wilmington, North Carolina, was shot 8 times, a gang member. So my son, that's his brother, So my son was in the hospital with Chris, while Chris was going through his different challenges as far as trying to survive and, the operations and, all these type of stuff that he had to do just to get himself back, in a more comfortable state where he could look at survival differently. So, of course, he did survive miraculously, and life went on for them for a good 10 months, 11 months, 12 months. So one day, my son gave me a phone call. He normally calls me, so I wasn't like shocked because he normally calls. That's one thing about him. He normally calls his father and speak with his father. Because I dearly and I know my son loves me dearly. When I said loves me, I know he loves me dearly as a father, and it's always because of the way I protect him and I treat him as a human being, and always try to make sure he's happy, even though he was my outside kid. And when he come to the house, he feel like he's outside looking in, but he was never treated that way because my ex and I treated him like he was royalty when he was in the house. You see what I'm saying? So he never had a chance or had the time to feel like he's been left out, you know. So he had a great life when he comes around us. Big backyard, nice home, 3-story, running around. Then at that time, he liked sunflower seeds, and my son used to eat those sunflower seeds all over the goddamn house, and the trash is just oh, and you get me pissed off with that shit. I said, go eat that shit outside because he loved that shit. Give him $1 or two, he run to CVS and get sunflower seed. He was never a guy that get chocolates and all that type of shit. Sunflower seed. So anyway, I'm just giving you a little bit of my son's portfolio. So his brother that was shot 8 times, in my mind, I think he was traumatized from seeing his brother in the hospital, just fighting for survival. And I think from right there and then, my son had a determination. He had a determination how to resolve the issue. This is just my perspective, my opinion. That doesn't mean I'm right. Just my perspective, folks, and also for the system of court, and also for the system of law and lawyers. So one day I was home. I think I was cleaning my house, and my son called me and he said to me, Dad, people are talking on the street. I said to him, I said, talking what? He said, people are talking that I killed somebody. I didn't really take him serious. I'm like, what do you mean people are talking about you killed somebody? I'm like, man, listen, talk to me, on the shit that you're going through. I mean, what you're saying right now is really fucking lame. There's no merit to it. Doesn't make any sense. So why bother with it? So I shoved it to the side, not knowing he was trying to tell me something nonchalantly. It's just their Ebonics way of expressing themselves. So anyway, 2 days passed. I realized my son had changed his phone number. Then he texted me his new number. And I'm saying to myself, my son had this number for so long, his mother gave him this number, and why has he now all of a sudden changed his number to this number? So I started to think, like Magnum PI, trying to get bits and pieces from his mom, which wasn't much. Then, 2 days later, I got a call from his mother that the feds and the U.S. Marshal had run down on the house and they arrest Chris and Rashawn. Rashawn is my son, my blood. Chris is a Wickfall. Rashawn is a Nugent. Okay, Rashawn needs to procreate and keep the name going. You understand me? When I used to buy it for my son used to share his stuff with Chris and all everybody else. I didn't mind all that shit. When it comes down to my son and his lively being, a person that's not incarcerated, that could fulfill his dream, his aspirations. So those are the things that I look at, and also spending time with his father by just doing silly things, either going out fishing or taking a ride or just hanging out shopping or something. You know, that's what fathers do with their sons when you get to a certain age. That's also intriguing to us and make us feel special just for that moment. So my son, after he said to me that people are talking on the street that he killed somebody, he didn't give me the whole story. He just gave me that right there, and he stopped. New generation, figure out the rest, old man. And I'm sitting there, I'm like, okay, I need to figure this shit out because if Rashawn just said this to me, then there's more to the story than what he said to me. So I went online. Of course, you Google, look at things, and I saw what I need to see. So he couldn't lie to me anymore, but I didn't say nothing to him. So anyway, he got incarcerated, been there for years, Wilmington, North Carolina. But then when I spoke to the lawyer and to see if we could get like some type of acquittal, because my son was charged with first degree murder, he and his brother, gang members, charged with first degree murder. And I'm going to tell you how it happens too. I don't hide nothing. So anyway, when they picked him up, they had him there. He went up to see the judge, his first appearance to see the judge. He was very disrespectful to the judge. And that like burns me up so bad I just wanted to knock him the fuck out. Like, yo, you did something wrong and shitty, and now you're gonna like try to show your ass in front of the judge. That's not the way things work. I guess you don't really have no repercussion for what you did, or no sorrow or no sorry. So no words could summarize what you did right now to make me feel comfortable because you already disrespect me when you walk into the courtroom. So that's what I was thinking about when I saw Rashawn walk into the courtroom and talking to the judge. You know what I mean? Yeah, you know what I mean. You know what I'm talking about? Yeah, you know what I mean. Like what the fuck? But that's their era. That's their tradition. That's how they talk. Ebonics. So I'm sitting there, and the judge say, you know, your crime is attempted murder. You know, you need to have a lawyer if you want to contest this case, take it to trial, or if you want to do a plea bargain. So my son sat in jail for years, 2, 3, 4 years. His brother Chris got released after about 5, 6 years in incarceration. But I'm just going to tell you, and I'm going to let you understand why. My son was Sean. He was the shooter, okay? My son, because Chris and them, they're Americans. My son is Jamaican, you know, that gully attitude, you know what I mean, that no nonsense, whatever. I'm not praising my upbringing or I'm not praising where I'm from. I'm just showing you the characteristics and the difference of where you come from, the beliefs, the approach, and everything. So my son approached it differently after his brother got shot. Didn't tell nobody nothing. I guess he and his brother was, because at this time now he had a baby, right? So now he works at night. Then his girl goes to works in the morning, and now he babysit in the morning until the baby fall asleep, and then he could get some rest, so he could go finish and do his night shift. So they had a schedule working out that was working for them. Now the brother that was shot 8 times just happens to be on the block. Then he saw the guy that shot him. Now the punk that he be, because to me, if you see somebody that shot you, you go get you a fucking gun and then you know what? You unload on that person. That's your revenge. But as a Yankee youth, he fold. So guess what he did? He went to what? The Jamaican rival, my son, with the Jamaican blood, the attitude, they don't care. I'll push a wig back if it comes to it, whatever the case may be. So anyway, Rashawn was home babysitting my granddaughter after he finished his job, the night shift. Then Chris went out on the block and saw the person that assaulted him and put 8 leads to his ass. And if a person put 8 leads in my ass, I don't need nobody else around me to retaliate. Nobody. Because I don't want nobody to stop me. Because I'm going to unleash like the beast you've never seen before. But anyway, Chris cut my son out. Rashawn unleashed on this beast, killed this beast. Then he was charged for murder. So now Rashawn is in prison, charged for murder. At the same time, he was trying to build his rap career and just get over the hump. But that's, something that I talk about in the live I did last night as far as, his life and his upbringing. And I'm referring to this guy, Cash. He have a very unique story. I want you guys to check that out because now it's up on my playlist where you can go check that out. Cash, the rapper from the United K, the unjust deportation, because he was unjustly deported to Jamaica, and he was there for 5 years, rhyming, fighting the Constitution and everybody in England to get his rights and go back to England. And he won his case, the first out of, I never heard of no one else. He migrated back to England, and he continued pursuing his music career. It sounds fairy tale, folks, but it's not, because this young man went through a lot of adversities in Jamaica, but at the same time, he didn't make it to become the best of him or what he stands for. He kept grinding for what he believed in, and that's why he's the man who he is today. So for all my American artists that you never heard of Cash, people like Young Dirk, Kanye West, Jay-Z, Nas, DJ Khaled, all these folks that are on the top right now, the baby, everybody. I want you guys right now to know about Cash, and I want you guys to peep him on his videos, because this young man is raw, talented, and they give it to you with extra sauce. So yes, folks, get back to what we're talking about as far as school, the Bibles, how they infiltrate things and put it in front of us slowly just to captivate our mind and our beliefs and also our understanding. But we do have folks in this world that knows better, means better, and they will also do their research and calculate all these type of miscellaneous factors and claims. Because if you, young man or young woman out there, know that within your body, the man above blows breath into you so you could inhale and exhale, so you could breathe and survive on this earth. And at the same time, you're not going to show no gratitude or show her no gratitude. Then what's your purpose on this earth? Seriously, what is your purpose? To disrupt this earth? The Bible already showed that, how earth was disrupted back in those days. Even with Sodom and Gomorrah, even with Enoch and them, all those things that they used to do. A lot of these things come from the Bible, but it's also a misunderstanding of the Bible. See, the Bible is all about good over evil. The Bible have good, and it also have things that went on that was, to us, we categorize as bad. Okay? We categorize it as bad. They might look at it on a different perspective, but we look at it differently because the world evolved, we change, we have different beliefs, we approach things differently. So these things happen as far as evolution is concerned. You know, so the world evolved, and those words kind of get lost, into the prey. So yes, so going back to biblical time, a lot of things has been done that were okay in the eyes of the people in the church, and also okay with the false puppet that they have misleading them on the pulpit. I don't want to get into religion too much today on a Sunday because that will cause a very chaotic conversation in the chat room. And that's not what I'm about today. I just want to spread bits and pieces of what's going on just to enlighten people, to stay aware, and also be conscious of your belief, and also be certified of your belief. And if that's what you stand for, that's what you stand for. And don't let no one try to take that away from you or change you from your belief. Because once they do that, if they take it away from you or change that, then the next thing they're going to do is control your mind. So pretty much you're just like a toy. So they press a button and they say, and you say whatever they want you to say. And then that's going to bring on unhappiness to you because you're not happy with what's going on with your life. You're living this fake life where you have to listen to these people who are pushing false narratives around you, and you have to be a part of it and support it and also advertise it. So when it comes to you breaking away from them and try to open up that can of worm, they always have something in the bag to put out on you that you did reckless. I say, oh, you was down with it. No, all of a sudden, why are you talking this shit? You know? So we have to be careful of all these reckless things that we do in life, reckless behaviors, our judgments, our friends, the crowd that we keep. Because me personally, folks, I tell you, I'm a man of certain age, and I really don't need company around me to feel like I'm somebody or feel like I'm excited or, you know what I mean? Certain overwhelming ways. I don't. Because for me, YouTube is my outlet when it comes on to therapy for the chronic pain that I've been through. So I already have my therapist, which is YouTube. I have my psychological doctor, my psychiatrist. I have my pain doctor. I have all these people. But I don't take pain medications, folks. I don't. I don't take no Vicodin, no Percocet, no fentanyl, all that shit. I don't. And I have a rebuilt spine. You know, I tell you that medical really helps a lot to alleviate the pain. Like I said, I'm not promoting, but listen to me. That medical helps to alleviate the pain, the nerve pain, the back pain, so you can live a life, a life of quality. You might not be able to live a strenuous life by going on certain machines or jet skis or this and that puts your body in an uproar. You know what I mean? And then brings on chronic pain. You may not be able to do that, but at least you can do some things in life that's warranted, and that's where you feel like you belong. You're becoming belonging now. It's like your rebirth. You have to learn things all over again, and then your mind becomes astonished to all these things because it's become a mind block in your mind that I can't do these things anymore. So when your mind see that you're doing it, your mind becomes astonished. You know, yeah. So for young lads out there, man, my special guest today, she spoke earlier. Health is my passion. She came on today because she's a YouTuber. Her channel is going and growing, and she have a lot to offer when it comes on to information and also content that people who want to go to the Caribbean and also want to make a choice of hotels, all inclusives, places to stay that are safe and also fun. She does those things on her channel because she lived the life. She's been there, and she's trying to bring it forth to you guys. So check out Health is My Passion, folks, because she have a lot to offer when it comes on to traveling and also day-to-day experience. Folks, once again, my name is Raymond Nugent, aka Chronic Pain, the Inner Demon. Like, subscribe to the channel, give me a thumbs up. If you can afford to do a cash app, I'll welcome and appreciate it. But if not, super chat, thumbs up, like, share the videos. Before I go, folks, I always say, who feels it knows it. Have a blessed Sunday. Peace.